Whoa! What was that ending about? We have a brand new NXT Women's Champion. There was a lot of other stuff that happened in NXT, and we're going to review it. It's me and the Captain Crunch, Shaykespeare, and we are going to have a fun show and we talk NXT. So much happened after deadline. Let's get to it after this intro. Too. I used to believe, and Andre Chase. You are forbidden from touching buttons. You hear me? You are forbidden from touching anything when I'm in my middle of a rant.
Jeffrey, oh my gosh.
Jeffrey touched the button. Jeffrey, stop touching. H-Man, open the door. Jeffrey, you are out of the jetpack community. Get out. Open the door for him, H-Man. Is that what you want? I wanted to display that because everyone thinks I'm quite the hero. I thought this picture was already taken down. That is so awful. That is so rude. But hey, folks, welcome to the NXT edition of Unpopular Review. I am the Grand Poobah. She's the Captain Crunch Shakespeare. Captain, NXT just went off the air. What an ending. We have a brand new NXT Women's Champion. And I think I can sit here and speak for everybody where I'm saying it's about time. Kudos to Mandy for holding the championship for a year and some change, doing a great job. I had George writing me on Instagram pretty much saying, oh, now they're going to be called up immediately to the main roster, which I don't believe an immediate thing. And I know we're going to see you in the chat, George, because I think you're already in there. I just want to be sure. Yeah, we see you in there, George. What's going on? But NXT, a pretty decent show. I thought paint by numbers. It was the night. It's pretty much the show after deadline. We have Roxanne opening the show, and she's getting ready to talk. I was just making my way back to the place. I was watching Alfred Mama Bad Guy. Great movie, Christmas movie. Check it out. And as Roxanne's getting ready to talk, she's interrupted by the other Iron Survivor Challenge winner, Grayson Waller, because he's so full of himself, and he just can't help but he's full of himself. He's Grayson Waller. He's like, I won too. Like, he pretty much talked about Roxanne because Roxanne throws out like, yeah, but I got the most wins and all this other stuff. But he points out that Roxanne is a little girl and she only went first because she had to go back home for bedtime. Grayson Waller is a dick. Then Braun Breaker, he comes up and tries to do babyface noise. He comes out here and he says, pretty much gives Roxanne her props, saying she really handled her own. But what about you? You're a punk. How about you try to do that same thing that you did to me on Saturday? Grayson Waller is not interested in doing that stuff because Grayson Waller is a genius who drinks out of a shoe, which is totally and utterly gross. Don't do that. We see a lot of people in the chat here. We're saying, what's up, what's up, what's up? So I sit here and say, what's up, guys? I see Warman, Grand Pooba Warman's here. I do acknowledge you, sir. I salute you. So yeah, Braun Breaker, he does babyface noise. Mandy Rose comes out, attacks Roxanne. Roxanne then gets the mic. Now, I didn't think Roxanne had it in her to be cussing like that. She sat here and she said, you think you a bad bitch? I said, Roxanne, how dare you? You should wash your mouth out with soap. But I like this. She wanted to let her know. I remember something you was telling, I believe it was on Cheap Plug, the Big Pop Theory podcast. It's an audio podcast. Check it out. But you was mentioning how you were like a little bit more edge on Roxanne. That was very rude. You were like more edge on her. I thought when she grabbed the mic, she sat here and said, how about me and you tonight? And I think that gave you an idea where we were heading for later tonight. So I would just sit here and ask you, madam, what was your thoughts about the segment?
My thoughts on the segment is Grayson shut up sometimes, and also bringing up Johnny Bananas is extremely low vibrational. Please do not do that again.
I'm not gonna lie.
Cut that off. We'll cut that at the feet right now. That's the last time.
You'll cut the feet?
Yes, if I have to. If I have to.
Well, okay, so we already opening the show with a bloody that was pretty down that bloody, but you're right. He did mention Johnny Banana, and then he said something about they were doing the shoey. I was like, oh okay, okay, cool, I guess. It really wasn't cool. I'm not gonna lie, it really wasn't. I'm just putting words out here. But yeah, Braun chased off Grayson. Apparently, he's not a fan of Johnny Bananas either. And like I said before, after Mandy attacks Roxanne, we're gonna get that match later tonight. If you can tell by our graphics, you already know what's gonna happen. But we see a lot of guys. Please follow the unofficial camerawoman. That is the wrestling doll, Barbara. Please give her a follow. She is tremendous. She is great. Follow that YouTube channel. Great stuff there. So then we have JD. He's getting checked out. JD Madonna. I should be sure about my JDs. But JD Madonna, he's getting checked out. JD, apparently he has discovered. So if I hurt my arm, I'm just someone who can say, hey, my arm hurts. JD will break down the rotator cuff is dislocated and you broke it on May 17th or something like that. So apparently he's a doctor. The doctor was checking him out. He's a who?
That's talented.
No, that's nerdum. I'm not gonna lie. That's who does that?
Are you nerd shaming? Is that what we do now? Is that what we've become?
Okay, I see you got the Nassau shirt and whatnot. I see the big earrings. Okay, like I get you. You sitting there, you want to sit there and just stand on a little crate and make noise, but no one makes more noise than the Grand Poobah. I know it because I was born in Brooklyn, but don't tell anybody that because I don't share that information. So no one remembers that. Everyone erases that. But JD, he has as he's getting checked out, he tells the doctor his injury. He had that black eye from Saturday, which I gotta say healed up a lot because it looked like crap on Sunday. I remember you shared a picture. It had to have been Sunday you sent it. Yeah. Because it really looked bad. He said pretty much scored a truce with Axiom. Who, by the way, once again, superhero that love turtlenecks. I know what I'm doing for next year's Comic-Con. I ain't being Axiom, but I'm being a superhero in a turtleneck. Just haven't figured who. Might be Deadpool. I think I'm more close to Deadpool. But that's not the point. But we have, he's getting checked out. And as he's getting checked out, apparently he has spider senses too. He realized Julius is there. And he said, them ribs still not here, huh? And Julius is like, yo, mind your business. Brutus ain't feeling how his big brother's being bullied. And he said, well, he might not be clear, but I'm clear. What's up? So that sets up a match for later in the night. So we're going to get JD Madonna against Brutus Creed. Brutus Creed. Brutus Creed. I'm running on fumes. I'm sorry. I am very running on fumes. I'm here. Okay. All right. But we're getting that match. I already talked about the Roxanne stuff. But did you want to I was going to say, did you want to any thoughts? Because I did want to get your thoughts and opinions on any of these segments. I didn't just want to just hop over everything. Did you want to add anything to this?
Julius needs to stop being stupid and put his health first. Ivy cannot watch him every second of the hour, making sure he doesn't make a dumb decision. And then you got Brutus over here who is just like, oh, if your friend jumps off a bridge, will you? Like, yes, he absolutely will. Stop it. Like, I really love this team, but right now they're being extremely self-destructive, and I am not okay with it.
We got one Mike Knox. I do want to give a shout out to Mike Knox because he is in the chat. I wasn't even surprised. I'm surprised. I didn't even think he was going to be. I thought Mike Knox would be passed out somewhere, sleep. But I want to give a shout out to Mike Knox because he had a show yesterday, and this was the highlight for me.
On Unpop Review Entertainment portion with my girl Captain C and Captain Jack Sparrow. Should go follow the Jack Packers. And
no one in that chat called me Jack Sparrow. Someone should have corrected him yesterday, and no one did it. And it's really disappointing because he was wrong. Well, thank you, Mike Knox, for joining the chat. We see you, Mike Knox. You can catch him on Mondays. He does a solo show by himself, and he yells a lot. I know it because as I was watching the clip, there was a lot of yelling, and God, I don't like yelling. So then we have Wesley. Don't calm down. So then we have don't act like you're being kidnapped. We have Wesley against Stacks. Before this match even happened, Mike Knox is so great. He says, "My bad." It is your bad, Knox. So then we have Stacks against Wesley. This match, it starts off. It's hilarious. You see Wesley as he's making his way towards the ring. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to take the floor? How dare you listen to this guy? This is the same guy. You know, Jeffrey, I'm not going to lie. If I could throw out here, I'm going to say here, you had just drunk a whole bottle of idiot because this woman has thrown you underneath the bus multiple times. Matter of fact, was you not here for the beginning? Do I have to replay the clip?
No, Jeffrey, how many times has he literally turned you into Jazzy Jazz and thrown you out of the house? How many times does he have to keep proving you what he thinks?
He hasn't proven himself. He hasn't proven himself to me. You have to prove yourself because you are fickle. You
know what? You don't have to prove yourself to me, Jeffrey. You never have to prove yourself. I just accept you as you are. So I just want you to take that with you, and then you let me know what works.
Too. I used to believe, and Andre Chase.
You're lying.
You are gross. I heard that snort. I heard that. Now, I will not act like I did not hear that. I heard that. What you just did was gross. Jeff, where's H-Man? Oh, I miss H-Man. I know he'll be back eventually. He wrote me, and he wants everyone to know in the chat he's taking notes. And it's gross what's happening here. But I'm going to sit here and be a professional, unlike my co-host, who is wearing an extremely bright orange shirt. And I don't know how I'm going to get through this because I didn't know you was trying to be annoying orange. That's who you are. Yes, the annoying orange. Let's get that hashtag going. Annoying orange Shay. There we go. You know, I said I was so depleted earlier, and now I'm loud. I blame the chat because they get me fired up. But we were talking about Stacks. He attacked Wesley in the beginning. Wesley was making his way. Stacks didn't care. He started attacking him. I love Tony D in this part here because as Stacks is beating the hell out of Wesley, Tony D is great. He said, yeah, get him, Stacks, yeah. He was his hype man. I didn't know this dude was Flavor Flav. So he was totally hyping up. What up, Todd? Yes, it was a fun episode. And this review is going to be fun. And I want to sit here and say, thank you for joining us. And I do want to sit here and say real quick, Saturday was so much fun with you guys on Saturday. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in and joining me. It was a really fun show. I hope you guys had fun also on Saturday. I know there was a lot of yelling, but that's what I do. That's exactly what I do. George, Warman, open the door for him. I know you're in the chat. Open the door for him. Open the door for George. He's out. He's out of this comment thingy thing. But I was trying to talk about Stacks because I'm being really interrupted. He doesn't get the win against Wesley. It's a good back and forth match. It's good that Stacks is out there and he's getting the opportunity to, and some to piggyback on something you've been saying for the longest time, like he's getting some time, he's getting a little bit of momentum. Momentum meaning he don't even have to win a match, but momentum meaning they're putting him out there, letting him just get the reps. And I think that's a big important thing. So I love that you put annoying orange. Good job. I didn't even notice that until I looked. That is tremendous. Let's get that hashtag. Damn, she's great. But Stacks does lose. Wesley wins. I gotta sit here and say, Dijak comes out after the match, and I gotta give a shout out to Booker T because there's growth. 2-3 weeks ago, he said, "Who?" And now when he says DC Dijak, he goes, "I like this guy." Shout out to Booker T, aka Black Snow. Dijak shows up and wasn't it? Tony D attacks him after. So I don't know. Do you want to throw any pieces into this? Any thoughts?
Well, it's obvious this is leading to a triple threat, which I'm not mad at. I think that's, cute. It's just I'm a little confused on who's going to come out on top on this. Like Wesley has just kind of won this. And then you have Tony, who I feel like is kind of gaining a lot of, momentum since returning. And he's just like, again, I see him as someone who can really carry a brand. So he's, I see him as, good money. I see him as top money. So he should be treated as such. And then Dijak, he just came. So it's like, he should win, right? But it's like, it's a little dicey because Wesley has just started his reign. So I don't know how this is going to go or how they're going to be able to write themselves out of this scenario. But I'm excited to see. And it's definitely going to be a triple threat. Like, it's so obvious.
I like that you said triple threat. I see Wesley retaining. I don't think you drop that title so right away. You don't drop that so quickly. I see what you're saying about Tony D. He just came back from an injury. I don't think you had to put the title on him right away, but you could do something later on. And Dijak, he did just get here, like he just got here. And I don't see myself like if I'm booking and I'm not, but if I'm doing a fan booking thing, I don't put the title on him right away. I would keep making him look strong. I would keep making him look dominant because he should look dominant. What would people call him? Like the not Undertaker, like APA like thing. I don't know. Those people I've seen things. I was trying to think of like his game because his thing is about justice. You might as well call him Bruce Wayne because he wants justice. I'm just glad he I don't know. I thought I had a joke and it just disappeared. Sorry, it's a long night, folks. We got here too. We have Andre Chase. He gets an apology from Andre Chase. Apologized to Duke Hudson because Andre Chase is an idiot. All you guys, because a lot of you guys are blind. You guys should wear glasses. You're shaking your head. And I can't wait to get to this segment because I just want you guys to see how much of a heel this person is in front of me. But whatever. You guys believe what you want to believe because you guys are fools. Except the Jack Packers. Shout out to the Jack Packers. But Andre apologized to Duke because he said, yeah, you was right. Thea was not ready for Alderdon. Which she clearly wasn't. You're talking about someone who's very experienced against a girl who, listen, I like Thea. But Thea is just she reminds me of Scrappy Doo. Anybody who've ever watched Scooby-Doo, Scrappy Doo, he always said, let me at him. Let me at him. That's her. She's Scrappy Doo. She's Thea Doo. I don't like that name. Let's not make that a thing. So we got that segment. Duke is going to have a match later in the night. He faces oh God, I don't have his name here. I know. Thank you. I wanted to make sure. I wrote that for later. I did not write that in my notes before that. Thank you. So then we have a segment with Trick and Mello, which is going to set up for a match for next week where Mello is going to go against Axiom, which actually sounds really good, like a really, really good match. I did like how Trick was really hyping up Mello. He was like, "This ain't a good look, Mello." And you see when they zoom in on the camera for the on the phone. You see when Axiom does like that moonsault off the penalty cage, and you see Mello shocked as well, like, whoa, like almost blown away. So see, now George want to be on my side. I don't yell. What the fuck do you mean? I don't yell. Not as much as my partner over here.
I don't yell.
Okay. All right, so we just spreading lies this Christmas. Okay. So then we have
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Then we have Von Wagner against Odyssey Jones. It's the battle of the big men. Vic was saying some stuff about stand up for your friends. I'm not gonna lie, Booker T has some points. Like, don't do that. That sucks. I just can't stand Vic. Anytime he talks, my ears start bleeding. So I had to mute the TV. So I couldn't really hear what was going on. But shout out to Odyssey Jones for standing up for his friends. Malik was able to get some revenge. He hits a drop kick on Von Wagner. Odyssey Jones does Odyssey Jones things. Gets the win on one Von Wagner. Von Wagner has been on quite the losing streak lately. Could win the triple threat. Could not win this match. And I don't know what goes on from here. I mean, Von Wagner was a period where they were kind of making him look dominant, but now he's just been looking like he's been looking wagless. So I don't know. Did you want to add any thoughts here?
I just think that his just lack of grasping the charisma part of everything has been a serious detriment to his progress. Hopefully he can dig and get that, because I feel like that's something that also plagued Zion Quinn as well, because I feel like he was in the beginning such a high prospect and like slowly fell down the ranks due to maybe being held back by the charisma aspects of being the full package as a wrestler. So maybe hopefully he can find something that kind of get him back up and get him back in those conversations. But shout out to Odyssey as well. They obviously see good things in him. I mean, as they should. He is talented. So I mean, he was, when they had the breakout tournament, the two people everyone kept bringing up was Carmelo and Odyssey. Yep. So I mean, there's clearly something there. So I mean, we will see where it goes.
Odyssey have some charisma. He has some charisma. As a matter of fact, when it was just those two at the end, when they had the breakout tournament, what was it, last year? I, for a moment, thought they were going to go with Odyssey because he's a bigger dude. A lot of times they go with the bigger guy. But I'm glad that they went with Melo because Melo has not missed. We have Harvey Body. He came up with some really cool names. Big Baller Harvey. Big Body Harvey. And I gotta say, Mackenzie is very rude. I was not a fan of her. She's just not nice. I'm kind of feeling this Harvey. Mackenzie asks a question, and I know this chat would already know because I feel like I was thought about when Mackenzie said, "Who doesn't like Icky Men?" I wanted to put a picture of my face immediately because I don't. Mackenzie, stop speaking for me.
Hater.
I'm not even going to listen to you. There's that song by Mary J. Blige where she wears the platinum wig. She talk about no more haters in their life, something, holleration. Look that video up. It's 2001. And I'm going to always use that as a reference to people when someone tries to say I'm a hater. Listen to Mary J. Blige with the platinum wig. It blinded me. I had to tell my mother, ouch. Thea is grown on me. She's like 5'4". How's she grown? 5 foot. That's not true. He needs the total package gimmick. It's a shame what happens to Zion Quinn, honestly. But let's get into this segment real quick and then we'll do a commercial break. Zion Quinn, he goes against Ikemen Jiro. I thought Javi was looking pretty good. He was actually laying in the work. He literally was just giving the works to Jiro. Pretty much said, here's this paper of employment, and was giving him the works. And I don't know how Jiro made a comeback. It was gross. And then when Booker T started praising Jiro, I began to get physically mad. I felt a vein in my neck. I was beginning to wonder if I should come on air tonight. I was this close, people. So you guys should be thankful that you are getting to see me. And I'm just sitting here reviewing the show. You guys should sit here and say, wow, you really went out your way, Jack. That's right. Because Jiro winning was disgusting. I threw up. I began to break out in hives. But I sat here and I went through this injury just so I can be here to do this review. But what healed me after this? Let me tell you what healed me, right? As I sit here and I do a typical wrestling point. This is what healed me. The tremendous scripts, who I'm a big fan. Stop touching stuff. Stop you with the bright orange shirt that's blinding half the chat. You calm down. You hear me? You can look around all you want because what you just did was just upset the Jack Packers. But Scripps, the tremendous Scripps, who should be doing big things on the main roster, but he's here. He sat here, attacked Ikemen, destroyed him. He hit him with the script flip. That's what I'm calling it. Or the flipping script. That's what I'm going to call it. The flipping script. Laid out Ikemen. And I sat here and I sat here and said, you know what? That mask might suck, but the guy behind it don't suck. And I sit here and I salute you. And I said, tremendous work. I call that hashtag that's justice, Captain, or Annoying Orange. Any thoughts?
This doesn't make any sense. Again, scripts is just like missing for me every week.
He missed that flip.
Whatever. I am just confused because I feel like he had a promo last week that said he wanted to come for all the big, threats. And then he attacks Ike Manjiro, who hasn't really had the best win-loss ratio in the last couple of months. So I was just a little confused. Like, you're saying one thing, you're doing another, you sound one way, the outfit is not giving what the message is giving. It's two different things going on. I don't understand it. I guess we will see what next week holds, but I am already just like, you're all over the place. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I'm sad that Javi had to take a loss, but he will be fine.
Javi couldn't get the job done, so I'm officially not a fan. But I appreciate what Script done. You said you don't get the message, I do, because I could comprehend what is being said. He was here to get some justice going on. Let's get that hashtag going. Scripts is the truth. Or maybe flip the script Grand Poobah. She's great. She's part of the Jack Pack community. What are you acting like that for? She's part of the Jack Pack community. She wants a Jack Pack show. Stop meeting yourself!
I'm trying to be nice and not cut you off, Kay. What is the next segment, okay?
It's going to be a commercial, actually. So we're going to play a commercial, and then we're going to have we're going to get back to some more NXT. So let's, after these words. This movie came out in 2003. When I was told, hey, we need to pick a holiday movie, I got really excited because I said, man, I really like Elf. Elf was such a fun movie.
I like that they had the throwback callback to those old school like Christmas movies in the beginning. What's that, like Claymation or whatever it is? Great touch. Will Ferrell is fucking hilarious. Like, I don't know what it is. He's always been so funny to me. And I don't know if it's the yelling or like
Chloe Chanel's in this movie. I think The New Girl is one of the funniest sitcoms of all time. So as soon as I saw her in this movie, and this is one of those movies where I began to look at Will Ferrell differently and say, okay, this guy has it, he gets it, and it was just a cute overall movie. Anytime you can watch this movie with your mother, to your kids, to your grandmother, and I feel anyway enjoy this movie or get something out of this movie, it's a true holiday movie.
It's a fun movie. I had a fun time reviewing that movie with both Cedar Superior and Mike Knox. They're going to be doing more Christmas movies because it's the Christmas holiday. So tune in more for UPR Entertainment. I believe they have something this Thursday. I forget which one they're doing this Thursday, but please check them out. Next segment, we had some with Wendy Choo. It was very quick. Just real quick, she pretty much talked about how she was happy that Cora Jade did not win the Iron Survivor Challenge, and said how Cora makes her feel 2 inches tall, which is not nice. No one should feel 2 inches tall. So I feel really bad for Wendy Choo. We had the New Day. They came out. New Day, with them winning the Tag Team Championship, they won it on Saturday. They beat Pretty Deadly. This segment was silly to me. I love New Day. It doesn't bother me that they won the Tag Team Championship. I'm for my guys making history, so I will never sit here and I am just not for New Day. What you call it? Good for my black men. I'm with it. So they come out, but they had this thing where they sat here and, well, first they talked about the history. So they sat here and talked about Kofi is the first Triple Crown champion for both singles and tag team. So shout out to Kofi.
Awesome.
I'm for it. Booker T was hilarious in this segment because he really was like, no, that's not true, and said mine's is 16, which is the magical number in wrestling, 16. And Xavier was talking about his history as well, talking about his first match in NXT, and he was the first match, I believe, in NXT, he said, and his match was against Big E, which gets a Big E chant. Pretty Deadly comes out. Yo, H-Man, I miss you, boy. This is my guy. I was going into the try to be professional, but man, do I miss you in the chat. Thank you. Everyone give H-Man his flowers because he's tremendous. But Pretty Deadly comes out. They talk about how they're mad and how they pretty much their Christmas was ruined. Well, it's a new day. Yes, it is. And they were upset, and then Xavier and Kofi have some fun. He said, "Man, you guys are probably not having a really good week." They talk about how England was kicked out of the cup, the soccer cup. I don't watch soccer, as you guys could tell, because I could not get that for the life of me. But I just know it's a big deal. And then Kofi talks about how also they lost the tag team championships. And then Kofi mentioned how he out-twerked them, which I did not need to put on notes, but it's in my notes. And they're having fun here. And I thought Pretty Deadly was great here. What I loved about Pretty Deadly here is, so everyone talks about the wrestling. The character, the facials. I forget which one because I'm so bad at keeping up with names. So I just put Pretty Deadly as a collective. And I thought it was tremendous when they mentioned about England being kicked out of the soccer cup. And the blonde one, Elton, he pretty much was like, how dare you? He just seemed so hurt when he said it. And I didn't say it got silly was at the end, because I'm not a fan of Jensen and Briggs. Everyone got to forgive me because my pronunciation is awful, but Jensen and Briggs, they come out, and because New Day said before that, setting up the segment here, or the ending of this segment, he says, if you guys could say that national anthem, we'll give you a tag team championship match. These guys don't know the anthem. They just know how to be pretty. And I'm for that because I'm a guy who knows how to be pretty. Look at the skin. It doesn't lie. Holla at your boy. But then Jensen and Briggs comes out. Not pretty, by the way. I need to throw that out there. They come out there. They come out with the American flag. And, of course, the crowd go, oh, it's the flag. And then they start saying, they put their hands on their heart, and then they sing the national anthem. And then New Day sit here and go, yeah, now you get the championship, which is going to be a match for next week. I sit here and say that is not justice. Now, I'm happy for New Day. This did not bother me that they won. I'm cool. I'm for it. I don't think this damages NXT, especially if they're going to continue to be around, which Shawn Michaels have said. But then again, Shawn Michaels is a liar. Hashtag, I never forgot the Montreal screw job. So, lies. But Captain, I'm gonna give you the floor. What did you any thoughts on this segment?
I mean, as long as they stay around and truly, pour into NXT, then I'm totally fine with New Day being the champs. Like, that was my only worry, is just them coming in to, check a box and then dip in. Like, that would have really annoyed me. But I'm glad that they're sticking around a little bit. Obviously, I think, NXT obviously will benefit from having these two, seasoned vets, around, for a long period of time. And I just thought it was ridiculous that Briggs and Jensen just get a title shot because they sang the Pledge of Allegiance. I just think that's crazy. But whatever. You need fillers before you get to the people who are really going to take those titles.
Absolutely. And I don't even see them having a long run, but what you just said, that's gonna them being with NXT for a bit, it's beneficial, We have JD Madonna against Brutus Creed. Oh my God, Brutus Creed. There's an R there. And they have a little match. I didn't even really think much of it. I mean, they gave him some time. It was okay. It was just something to give JD Madonna to do. They gave him the win. I really don't have much to really say here. I mean, something I wrote you when I was watching, I said, Judas had a match with him, 2 weeks ago? Didn't get pinned. Brutus got pinned. I mean, that's telling stuff right there.
I've been saying this. It's just they treat them both differently. It just is. One, I think they kind of see a little bit more in, and that's not an insult because they both are really, really talented. It's just, Julius, something is. Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry. It's not towards you. I think Todd is hilarious. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you.
It does favor him, actually, truly, though.
I don't.
If you look at old baby, actually, I'm gonna get pictures together. If you look at old pictures of Leo and then look at Elton, definitely, it's a small resemblance for sure.
Listen, you got me good when we did the big pop, and you showed me that Sabrina had red hair, and that blew me away. That blew me away. I didn't know she had red hair.
Moment. How do you not remember when Sabrina had red hair in college? Like, that was such a moment. Like, I really wanted to dye my hair. I would never actually do it. Cause
I would never dye my hair either. That's stupid.
But she made me want to.
Who dyes their hair?
Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, JD's been beating on the Creeds for weeks now. I don't know. It's just randomly he's just been beating on them. I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying I noticed.
He sounds like a bully, honestly.
He's not a bully. Actually, he was bullied. He was bullied in the NXT deadline match, the Iron Survivor. I don't know if you saw. He had multiple times where he could have got a pin, and no one else really went out their way to break up pins like how they did for JD. But nobody wants to get into that conversation. That's fine. We'll just pretend like he was not singled out. We'll just pretend. It's fine. But JD ends up winning, as he should. Indus Share tried to get involved because I guess JD wanted to kind of on Brutus. They weren't having that. I mean, I don't understand this thing. Like, now it's like, come on, I just need this tag team to fight, get this over with, because you're not going to be hovering around their matches. It's weird.
Why do you make it? First off, these are some pretty big men. So when you say you're not going to be hovering, like, you mean it's like telling King Kong and Godzilla, hey, stop. You don't do that. The next segment here, we got we have Mackenzie. She interviews Zoe. Zoe mentions how she don't like TikTok. And she didn't have no desire to face Nikita Lyons, but we'll be facing her, and that match is going to be for next week. And I said something about Mackenzie stinks. I forgot why I wrote that. Wow, I seem like I have a vendetta against her.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm great. So next we have Ari Miller against Lyra Valkriya. Valkriya? How you say it? Valkriya. Okay, thank you. Her entrance was Rain. I thought it looks kind of cheesy, but I got what they were going for. It just looked a little cheesy to me, but I understood what they were going for. Because I saw a lot of people say it was cool. I'm not hating on it. It's different. So I sit here and give it that little nugget there. I didn't like it was Miller that she was going against. I just didn't like that. I didn't like that. I said, could have got anybody else. Now, I don't know what the thing. I'm pretty sure they go look at Miller. She's a great hand, and she's someone that they know that you could trust in the ring. But when I saw her and against Lyra, I was like, damn, she's going to lose again? And I think her time in the sun will show up eventually. I just didn't like that personally for me. Lyra, she looked good. She hit a frog splash as a finish. And it made me realize, like, wow, that's another move that everyone has is a frog splash. But she looked good. I would like to see more of her. It was short, straight to the point. I'm not surprised that Lyra got the win. She should get the win. She's debuting, and she needs to get familiar with that NXT crowd. So we got that. Any thoughts on here real quick?
I mean, I feel like it was a solid debut, and I really loved, like, of all the moves she did, because I know she did like a step up enziguri. She also did like a drop kick through the ropes, but like on the second, and so she sat on the second rope, kind of like how Liv Morgan does with her entrance. But the thing that stood out to me the most was her Northern Lights. I love when someone can do Northern Lights and keep that bridge. I just think it's so pretty. The last time I saw someone I really, really liked that did it was Peyton Royce. Cassie Lee, I'm sorry. She did very well. So I'm excited to see more from Lyra. And I mean, she clearly brings it in the ring. So yeah, it's cool. I'm good.
She has an intensity to her too. I do want to throw that out there. She really would have an intense face for the most part. Most of her face was always just like this, always just scrunched up and stuff like that. So she gets that. And I just want to see a little bit more about well, we're glad that you're here. You missed the rant earlier, but thank you for showing up at some point. But I agree with George because she had a tremendous Northern Light suplex. Alicia Fox had one of the best when she would do it. I agree with Jeffrey. I said George. I'm sorry. I don't agree with anything with George.
True. Hers were like
Alicia was great. I think easily. I would have to look at Cassie, because I didn't even know she did that. So
I
said, I was
love when she do it. I miss her.
Yeah, I said congratulations to her, because I know she is pregnant, and I don't know when giving birth, but congratulations to her. And I'm pretty sure after she gives birth, she'll be back in the ring. Because I see right here, we got Todd. He says, bring back the Iconics. The Iconics were really they understood the entertainment aspect of everything. That was something that they really got. Even when they separate, which I thought was dumb when they separated them, I was not a fan of that. But I got to give it up to my girl. You said Peyton. What was the other one? Oh, Billy Kay.
Yeah.
Billy Kay. Because she kept giving everyone her resume. She said, "Here's my resume." That's such a terrible accent. I would never do no injustice like that to her. But she
kind of reminded me of like the female version of Sami Zayn. Like just she just cracked me up in whatever she was doing. Like whatever they would put her in, she just nailed it. She was so entertaining. Like, and I think that just goes so much further. I miss her, but yeah, I mean, she does other things, of course. But it's like I feel like there was so much she had left.
Yep.
That was like cut off, but I know she's still, very successful in anything that she's doing today.
And listen, they're still young. I mean, they could go around the circus and stuff and still be called back to W. So, so shout out to them. Let's give them a big time shout out. I know they did. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, I cut you off.
I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm uncutting, and you say what you cut, and you talk.
Listen, you orange, you got the floor.
I was gonna say what was next, but if you had a sentence, you finish your sentence.
These oranges are just so rude. This is why, honestly, my favorite fruit is none other than an apple. Not bananas, because after learning about Johnny Banana's history, bananas are out of this house. I will never eat a banana again.
Don't say it to Grayson Waller.
What's he going to do? Drink out of my shoe? That's gross. I have Converses. Drink out of Vans. No one wear Vans. They're weird. So now let's talk about the... Now she's taking off her
There
Vans.
was a backstage segment.
Yes, with Duke. No.
This was between the 3 tag women.
Oh yeah, the match
earlier in the show. They were all fighting backstage. This is clearly going to lead to some triple threat tag match, which I'm totally for because, as I said, I love triple threats. So do it.
That match is actually going to be set for next week, so you're calling it right. I mean, I think I totally skipped right over that, and I apologize. But the match really ended in the disqualification, so there was not much to really dig into. But it was the setup for what my partner just said: Toxic against Kaden and Katana, and Ivy and Tatum, and that's going to be next week. But let's there's one match before that, and then we'll do one commercial break because we're going to make this a really, really quick show, folks. But we got Duke Hudson, and he goes against Damian Kemp. There's this thing going on now where it's looking like Duke Hudson and I should have wrote my man's name down.
Damian Kemp?
No, not Damian Kemp. The guy who showed up. He showed up last week.
Drew Gulak. Thank you.
So it's looking like that's going to be a pairing between Duke Hudson and Drew Gulak because he was out there. Duke Hudson gets the win. He beats Damian Kemp with a big boot. So there's a little story going on right there. Duke Hudson, he's winning the trust of the Andre Chase University from the students to Andre Chase himself. And Thea was pretty much saying, "I don't want you to transfer." I'm laughing. She's saying, "I don't want you to transfer." I'm like, this is a grown man. It's just funny to me. I mean, listen, I look at wrestling. I know what I'm watching. It's entertainment. But I'm like, that's a like, back in the day when you would watch shows and they'd be like, these are teens, and they were clearly like 38.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. But did you want to add anything before we get to this main event?
Also, Elektra, Lash, and Jakara and Indy were also backstage, and I think Elektra and Indy got into a fight. A lot of people were confused because I guess there were reports that Indy was supposed to be on Raw, but that clearly was not the case. I don't know where this leads for Indy. Like, I'm so confused sometimes. Like, sometimes, like, just her booking is weird. Because one minute, I will feel like, damn, she might win the NXT title. Then the next, I'm like, damn, I guess she isn't. Then the next, she's still there. Then it's like, oh, is she going to the main roster? It's like, I'm confused. I'm highly confused.
And that's a good thing.
Filled in.
That's a good thing because you don't know what's going on. Sometimes that's really a good thing when you don't know what's happening. A lot of things now is we know stuff and it ruins the surprise and spoils all these things. Sometimes it's good to just be surprised. The fact that you thought or you heard on the things about, oh, she might go to Raw or SmackDown. and they probably could use her right about now. But I think her staying in NXT is a really good thing. So kudos to that. That looked like that's going to be a match. I don't think they announced that for next week. I don't see that. So, but that's definitely going to be a match going on. We're going to do one more commercial here, folks. And right after the commercial, we are going to end it with the main event. So stay tuned.
I admire Sasha Banks. I was not a fan of Sasha Banks. I tell all people all the time. I didn't fuck with Sasha Banks until when I first saw her in NXT. I saw the bad weave job. I saw the horrible Kanye West sunglasses that were from Rad. I'm the boss. To me, I don't like personas or characters that seem fake to me. So when I first saw Sasha, I didn't believe her. I didn't buy. If anybody watch Young Rock, right? You got to believe what you're selling. That's what I always tell people. To wrestlers, it don't matter what they give you, right? I'll use Cody Rhodes as an example. They gave him Stardust. He rode that shit till the wheels fell off. When I first saw Sasha Banks as that character, the boss, I didn't believe it. But it grew on me over time, and I became a very big fan of Sasha Banks. I don't think she's better than Bayley. I damn sure don't think she's better than Charlotte Flair. Okay? I think she's right there, but I think Sasha's very, very good in the ring. Very.
And that was Mike Knox with his opinions from yesterday's show. And you can catch him. He does a solo show on Monday nights. It's 6 p.m. It's for the intelligent wrestling fan. Perfect Plex Radio Talk. So check out my guy, Mike. He's a great guy. And he also butcher names. So get it together. Michael. It's a start and stop push. What else we got here? We got George. He said, I believe that Indy Hartwell could go to the main roster. She could. But what do you do with her? My biggest thing is let's not just throw talent up there. Let's have a plan. Let's have an idea for them. Because a lot of times, I like what they're doing with the main roster. I like that the little bit of talent they got here, from Johnny being called up, Dexter. Well, I say Johnny being called up, but right, he came back. Dexter, Tegan Knox. I just want to make sure that there's a plan here rather than them. Because even look at Emma. She lost to Shayna Baszler, I believe, last week, right?
Hi, Ghost.
Ghost. This
Ghost. Oh my God, you're hating.
No, I love Ghost. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about Ghost.
From outside the club, just like Wendy was earlier.
I'm what club?
You're hating outside the club, just like Wendy was.
Oh, because I didn't wear a bright orange shirt and blind everybody.
Mm-hmm.
See, look at this guy. This guy's great. He's a part of the Jetpack community. I own him. He's with me. Ghost. He's with me. I'm sorry. Sorry to break the news. Santa ain't real. And if you step on Legos, it hurts.
Anyways,
let's get to this main
event. Roxanne versus Mandy Rose for the NXT Women's Championship. This is big. Now, I was talking to you a little bit, and I will say, Roxanne's outfit for me, I felt like it was almost a giveaway. From the very beginning, and I know I'm going back to 2.0, the colors were the splash of paint, meaning new, meaning vibrant. Roxanne literally embodies the new age of NXT. So her wearing the paint and the colors, I feel like was symbolic. For me, it just called out to me as being symbolic. I enjoyed this match. I wouldn't say it's the best match Roxanne or Mandy has ever had, but it wasn't terrible. Now, people are saying, that she lost these reasons. I don't think it was any reason outside of, I think that they really want this Iron Survivor match to be a hit. And for a match to truly be a hit, now, yes, the format, of course, and, the reception from, people online, everyone loved it. But what's the most important thing about these matches? Proving the success rate. That is what tonight was, proving the success rate of the Iron Survivor. Having Roxanne go on the very next episode after winning Iron Survivor, getting her title shot and winning, that proves the success rate. Just like Money in the Bank, when the first person cashed in, they won. That proves the success rate. That makes people want to do the match more. It makes it a hit. That's what this was. So that's why it was obvious. That's why Roxanne was going to win. They wanted to prove the success rate of the Iron Survivor. So all around, the match is a complete hit, clearly, because Roxanne won. and she was the first to do it. So she can also hold that over Grayson as well. So good on you, Roxanne. This was awesome. I'm happy for her. And shout out to Mandy for 400 and I believe it was 413 days. Fantastic, lady. And whatever you do after this, I'm excited for you.
I figured that Roxanne would get the win just by them announcing it for tonight. I mean, because it just seems so sudden. And I didn't. Good on you for picking up on the attire and realizing, like, you know, like the history or just picking up what the meaning of it. But I just figured, like, yeah, they're calling this out, Roxanne, and you have to do that. They had 2 Iron Survivor Challenge matches. One is going to win. One is not going to win. No one, I don't believe anyone think, and Jeffrey's pointing out 413 days. And I was looking up like how close she was, and there were certain people I was like, I would not want for her to pass this person. I even thought, I think it was you I wrote, and I said, could you imagine if she passed Oscar? Because I don't think she was too far off from Oscar. I think she still has some ways, but it was still not like as far. But I digress. I don't necessarily remember. But yeah, I agree. The match really was. It was really just to put the belt on Roxanne. This match is not. You're not gonna go down and go like, oh, this was like just 5,000 at the Tokyo Dome. No, it's not that. It's not like when Rhea Ripley beat Shayna Baszler 2019 on that wonderful episode of NXT, which was pretty good, really good match. Really good match. I recommend checking that match out if you guys haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, Roxanne gets the win. I saw someone in the chat sitting and said Mandy's gonna win it back. No, Mandy don't need to win it back right now. What you need to do. So originally my thought was, I didn't know how we got there, but I was sitting there saying, put on Cora, she has a run, then Roxanne get that babyface run, wins it from her. Now it looks like everything changes. Because you gotta put the title on Roxanne, but I'd sit here and say Cora needs a run eventually too. So I'm just saying, I think the stage is set for that. I could be totally wrong. This is just me being a wrestling fan trying to book. Yeah, Mandy is not winning that back. As a matter of fact, George wrote me, and he said, "Oh yeah, they're Toxic Attraction," and I'm not trying to throw you out, George. It's just because we had a conversation, but you know, like they're going to be called to the main roster. Just because she lost the title don't mean she's going to be automatically called to the main roster. Could she be called up after Royal Rumble? Sure. A lot of times they bring up a lot of people after Mania. Now, I don't know if you wait that long to bring up Toxic Attraction after Mania, but just because she lost don't mean she's immediately there. Not even just her, but Toxic Attraction in general. Because I wouldn't just have Mandy come up by herself. You bring all 3 of them up. And it doesn't mean that they're going to be called up now, is my point.
Yeah. Agree with that. Do you think that Mandy challenges her to a rematch at New Year's Evil, or Roxanne moves on to a whole other opponent?
No, I think you definitely do the rematch. I think absolutely you do the rematch. Roxanne beats her again, and I even sit here and go as far as to say, because this match wasn't a hit for me, but I think the next match would be something special. So I do think they're going to have one more match before it's all said and done. Absolutely. Agree with JD.
Yeah. So, okay. So then you have maybe the triple threat at New Year's Evil. You have the Mandy match with Roxanne at New Year's Evil. They more than likely lose all of them. And then you have them go to the main roster. Does that sound like
and great on how you worded, because you did a better job than me. But yeah, absolutely. It's pretty much after. It could be even after Rumble. It don't have to be Mania, because I don't see how like you hold them off for that long. I think you eventually call them up, but I'm just saying, like, next week they're not going to be on SmackDown beating up Bianca Belair. I saw someone in the chat, right? Do they already have their Toxic Attraction? Are you talking about Damage Control? Because they're 2 different acts. I don't see that unless there's another trio I'm missing. But I don't.
That's a different vibe. That's a totally different vibe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I don't. Toxic Attraction is its own thing. There's no one on the main roster brand that has anything similar to that act. So I don't know what that means. Do they break up?
They're going to be in the Royal Rumble. I gotta say, I am extremely excited about the Royal Rumble under the Triple H regime.
Yep.
I am very excited. I'm just ready for it to happen tomorrow. I just have to get.
Well, let's give the man some time so he can book it. Let's not just do it tomorrow with Triple H. He's trying to write everything down, and he's like, how's this? And he's just sweating. Let's give the man some time. But no, I get what you're saying. Royal Rumble. I don't know if I see all three. I don't know, but I see Mandy in there. I do see Mandy. Mm-hmm. I don't know if all three though. Like that for me, I don't know. But Mandy, I definitely see. I saw someone in the chat because we just want to get some of these things, and we're gonna call it a night right about now in the next 2 minutes. But do they break toxic attraction? We already have damage control. No, I think you need to bring them up as an act. I think toxic attraction was one of the best things to happen to all three women. Honestly, Mandy, JC Jane, and Gigi. And I know when they had like the tag tournament thing, Gigi was tag teaming with somebody else or whatever. But her and JC Jane, they have it was Cora. Okay, thank you. They just meshed so well. Like, why would you break them up? Matter of fact, if they were still around. But when Undisputed Era was running amok on NXT, the biggest thing was like, you have to call all of them up. You don't just call Adam Cole and you leave Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Bad Fish down there. You have to call all of them up. I'm just saying, I would call all of them up if I was
at the time. But then once they established Kyle as his own person, it was like, well, I wouldn't be too like miffed at that point. At that point when they were still there, obviously this is a total different thing. I was worried about nobody called up. Ain't nothing to be called up for them. Where they at? Where they at? But
shots fired.
Shot, but they don't have a main roster. They just have the place, so there's no calling up. See, why are you starting trouble? You're starting trouble.
It's my middle name.
But I'm saying they established Kyle on his own, and I felt like, okay, he can go on his own journey. See, look at this little.
Told you. I'm glad. So, JD, welcome to the Jap Pack community. War Man, open the door for this man. We're gonna give you shirts, and we appreciate you. And we kick people who are 5'2". 5'2". You have nothing to worry about. You're much taller than that. You're like 5'7". But listen, I was lying for you. Where's the lie?
Don't start. Don't.
But that was the NXT show. We want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, I said thank you for tuning in on Saturday. You guys were great. I saw the numbers, and I totally appreciate that stuff. But I want to say thank you for tuning for Unpopular Review. We got a lot of things going on. The new year is going to be upon us in 2 weeks because time flies by so fast. So let's do these things. Let's plug these shows real quick, and then let's call it a night. I'm sorry, give me a minute. Let me get to these things. Okay, so we have this show. We have a Mike Knox show. What is the show, Captain?
Well, it's the Mike Knox show. It comes on at 6 p.m. and it's just Mike Knox kind of going over all the current events of wrestling. As you can see, he had strong opinions about the Boss, and he brings strong opinions every week for different wrestlers. So definitely tune in because I feel like he has insightful thought process. So definitely, tune in 6 p.m.
Monday. What about this show? I mean, we're still on the air, but still, what's this? What's these guys?
This is the NXT review, not 2.0 anymore. We have to update that.
We gotta update that, yeah.
Yeah, but yes, NXT directly after it's the Annoying Orange and the Grand Poobah.
Thank you.
And we go over NXT and we yell a lot. Well, mostly him.
Wow. Damn, I feel 2 inches tall. Next match. What about these guys, Captain?
Every Wednesday, you can catch the Elite Couple going over AEW Dynamite directly after the show. Tune in. They have some fun topics. I know the show's, it's been having its moments lately, so definitely tune in for that.
Also, you could catch just before All Elite Wrestling. I'll take this one, Captain. Good job. A round of applause to guys in the chat. But on Wednesdays, you have the Annoying Orange, Mike Knox, and they have dragged me for the challenge. It's a fun show. It's a great time. It airs around 9:30. We talk about the challenges that's happening, drunk relationships, and Johnny Banana, you suck. I just want to throw that out there real quick. And, we're going to do a cheap plug here, but it's better that they hear your voice because we just did a recent episode.
The gatekeeping episode, yes. Yeah. So we just posted a new episode this past Monday. And it comes every Monday. We talk about everything. We went a little bit more in depth into NXT Deadline just because, obviously he did it on a solo, but, he got to get some, opinions from, the Annoying Orange.
You got to get the captain in there.
Exactly. So we get a little bit more in depth about it and about how NXT Deadline kind of really it's like the turning point, and you could even hear it in how the commentators are speaking about NXT Deadline. They're aware that something shifted after that PLE 100%. So we definitely dug into that on this episode. This previous one.
And it's honestly a really, really fun show. So please give it a check out. We have both the links from Apple and Spotify because, I don't know what your things are, like which one you want to use, but links are there. It's a fun time. We still try to bring the same energy that we bring here to the audio world. Yes, Athena and Roxanne. And also, I guess we can announce this. So it's looking like it's next Thursday. We have UPR End of the Year Awards. It's going to be a combination of both UPR Wrestling and UPR Entertainment. So we're going to have categories like Best Wrestler of the Year, Best Face, Heel, Women, Best Movie, Best Actor, Actress. And we're going to have some fun there when we have Best Host, Duel, and a bunch of other awards. It's going to be a fun time. UPR is a great time to be around. And we're not going to keep it any longer than this. We already went an hour, but we're going to say, I sit and ask you, Cap, any last words before we go home?
JD was jumped. He was cheated. And things would have been very different today if he was not plotted against on Sunday.
Damn, she's great. I'm the Grand Poobah. She's the Annoying Orange. And we say, adios, folks. You guys are awesome. Thank you for tuning in. You guys stay safe, stay warm, and that's all, folks.